4:19 by the studio clock. You're listening to Akashvani Hyderabad. My name is Sruthi and I'm in conversation with Devarshi ji. And that lovely track that you just heard was sung by Swami Kriyananda himself. Devarshi ji, would you like to elaborate more on the beautiful track that we just heard?
Yes, Swami Kriyananda ji was a prolific author. He wrote 150 books.
Okay.
He wrote over 400 pieces of music. He was an amazing composer.
Okay.
And he had an amazing voice. And he very often expressed the spiritual teachings through song and music because it's more digestible.
Okay.
I hope we can hear one of his more childlike songs too, because he was a very childlike person.
Okay.
And you think of wise sages as overly serious and unhappy and speaking very profoundly, but he was also very childlike because divine joy, God is childlike. God is like a child, and that experience of God awakens or reawakens this childlike nature that is in all of us. And so that music was sung by him. We have choirs that sing his songs.
Okay.
He also sang in Bengali and Hindi, Italian. He knew of something like 7 or 8 different languages.
Okay.
And again, it represents also how he was trying to show that spirituality should come into and enter every part of our life.
Right.
Because people separate their business and, quote, worldly life from their spiritual life.
Right.
But it's important now to integrate them and to bring spirituality into everything that we do. Again, business, raising families, music, art, schools, all these things.
So we will come to the last part that you spoke about how to integrate all of this with our, daily lives. But before that, you're a part of Ananda Sangha. Can you tell us more about what Ananda Sangha is, how many branches it has, what, it does in terms of other than teaching Kriya Yoga, the other kind of activities that Ananda takes up and, how one can associate themselves with Ananda?
Yeah, thank you. We have teaching centers all over the world.
Okay.
And all throughout India, all the major cities of India have Ananda teaching centers.
Okay.
Where we have satsang every Sunday during the week, where there is devotional chanting, meditation, learning how to meditate. We also have spiritual communities where people gather together and live together, serve together. Sometimes they go to their job during the day and come back.
Right.
We have some urban communities in the U.S. where we have bought apartment complex. All the members, the residents are all Ananda Sangha members practicing Kriya Yoga meditation. And we also have schools all over the world. We have schools in India, now in Gurgaon, teaching children how to live principles of how to be happy, how to be cheerful, because as our teachers say in Gurgaon, a happy child learns better.
Correct.
They learn more, they're just more balanced in every way. And so these are called Education for Life schools, a system that was created by Swami Kriyananda ji based on his guru, Yogananda ji's teachings.
Okay.
We also have a charitable work in Vrindavan, where Ananda Sangha has helped to transform one aspect of the culture of that city, where there have been many widows abandoned there over the years, living on the streets. Their children will literally take them to Vrindavan and abandon them. They'll disappear, and the widow will ask, "Where are my children? I must have gotten separated," but they were abandoned. And so we've helped thousands of them with not just food and medical care, which we do. We have a van that takes some to the hospital every day for appointments. We have residential places where we've taken these ladies off the streets, and they have these care homes. And what really it's about is about bringing them back to a level of love, respect, and dignity.
Right.
And they were shunned by society, and now they are loved. We go and visit them. We hang out with them and play carom with them, massage, their feet and such when they need help like that. And they're loved and happy. It's quite inspiring to see the transformation there. And so what really Ananda Sangha is trying to change the world, which is a pretty bold and It sounds audacious,
Right.
but we all have that duty to do that.
Correct.
People who are high-minded have a duty to start sending ripples to family, friends, and helping, because there's such a need in this world
Right.
for peace, for love, for kindness. And we must counteract this negative energy that's in the world of warfare and greed, poverty. You have extraordinary wealth right next to people who are starving. And so we have a duty to help to change.
Right.
But if it's not done with love and on a higher level of consciousness, then people who protest screaming and with anger, they just spread more anger by doing that.
Right.
And so change must happen, and this is what we are trying to do in many, many ways.
Right.
Again, with arts and music, we've had some art festivals, music festivals.
Okay.
Again, we also teach meditation, but really the meditation and Kriya Yoga is to give us the strength and the peace, the inner peace, to be able to help others. Because you can't help someone become less angry and more peaceful if you
Right.
aren't peaceful yourself.
Correct.
And in a very strong way. If it's just a low energy, kind of a passive peace, you can't do much. But the great saints, they have this high energy peace and kindness. And we all can do that. That's the thing. We think, it's just for the Babas or the saints. But Kriya Yoga is to help each one of us to be a saint in a way, and to be the best version of ourselves that we can be.
Okay.
This is the joy of teaching Kriya over the years to thousands of people, is that I've seen so many people inevitably become better human beings, better
Right.
friends, better teachers, better business people. And people think, well, maybe meditation is not practical. But I'll share a story of a friend. This friend is a Kriya yogi.
Mm-hmm.
He invented almost single-handedly the app called Swipe, SWYPE.
Right.
And he was just wanting to help people communicate with each other. It was a selfless joy that he was doing. And he eventually sold it for some ungodly amount of money.
Right.
But he wasn't trying to do that. He was just wanting to be creative and do something good. And I asked him one time, how did you do this? Because he developed it at a time when these things were not being developed, way in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
And he said whenever he had either a business problem or a programming problem, because he was the programmer, the main programmer,
Mm-hmm.
he said, I would meditate, I would practice Kriya Yoga,
Okay.
I would pray to Divine Mother for the answer, and the answers would come.
Okay.
And so Kriya Yoga can help you become a better programmer of all things, a better business person.
Right.
So really, the purpose of all this is to help people become much improved versions of themselves,
Okay.
and to be able to start being a cause rather than an effect in this world. Because stress, anxiety, all these things, they hammer us. I mean, it's really hard to resist it.
Right.
And so we have to become stronger from within, because we're not going to change the out there. The out there that's going to continue. But we can change ourselves.
Sure.
And we can learn how to, again, not just respond better, but to be a cause and to help other people in many different ways. So,
Sure. So clearly, Ananda has been doing a lot of work in terms of serving the community as well, and that being one of the top priorities. So how does one get associated with Ananda? Let's talk about Hyderabad, where our listeners are from. So if someone, is interested in associating themselves in any form with Ananda, how do they do so?
okay, it's very easy. We have a website, Pan-India website, anandaindia.org.
Okay.
I imagine we also have AIRHyderabad.org.
Right.
People are nodding, so yes, we do. And so you can go there to find when meditation classes are happening.
Okay.
We have a teaching center with an Ananda Acharya.
Okay.
And just so you know, Ananda Acharyas are not monks and nuns. They are normal people.
Right.
People who have raised families and been in business, but who have been studying and practicing, of course,
Okay.
these teachings.
Okay.
And so you can go and learn meditation through Ananda Hyderabad.
Okay.
Tomorrow there will be a big sort of a public book launch event here in Hyderabad at 5 p.m. The location, maybe I'll share the location a little bit here
Sure.
in a minute, but it just There are many easy ways to learn. We can also learn online.
Okay.
We have online classes.
Okay.
But it is helpful to be with people who are part of this Sangha to ask questions, to be in that vibration.
Right.
Because the question comes up sometimes, there are so many ways to learn meditation.
Right.
How do I know what's right for me?
Correct.
And
Which is what I was just getting to. So
Yeah.
we've spoken about associating, but
Yeah.
how does one get started in this
Yeah.
spiritual journey?
And so the way to find out if something is right for you is just to put your toe in the water and see what it feels like.
Right.
And that means learning it and practicing it. But it also means meeting people who are practicing it.
Okay.
And for me, when I came to Ananda Village in 1977, that question was there, is this the right thing for me?
Right.
As soon as I met the first people on that Ananda Village property, right away I knew, these people have something that I want, which was kindness, clear eyes, open hearts, joy.
Right.
And so that's one way to find out if a teaching and practice is right for me, is just to meet some of the people,
Okay.
but also to start practicing it a little bit. One of the great things about the meditation is that you can start slowly, which means just doing 5 minutes every single day, 10 minutes every single day. And once you start doing that as a regular daily habit, then you start enjoying it and you start seeing, oh, I like this.
Right.
And what Ananda Sangha teaches are techniques and ways to make it easier, because it isn't easy. The mind starts chattering and discipline is hard. But a lot of what our meditation classes do is just to teach how to make it a part of your life in a way that really works.
Right.
It has to be practical,
Correct.
really, in the end, and it has to work
Correct.
for people where they are at in their very busy lives.
Right.
So our meditation classes start slow, teaching some basic meditation just to get started, and then building from there. And people can take it at their own pace, do as much as they want or as little as they want. But, the inspiration and the joy has to come from within in the end,
Right.
from practicing it.
Okay.
And the only way to find out is to go and meet some of the people, maybe just take a single class and see if this resonates with me.
Okay. And on this note, we have another lovely track that's lined up. And this one's called Life is a Dream. Would you like to, before I play it, tell our listeners what this track is about?
Yeah, I think this is the instrumental version of it, but
Okay.
we won't hear the words. But it's about, the words are, life is a dream, time like a stream, carries our troubles away, joy is everywhere. And a lot of Swami Kriyananda's music was about finding joy everywhere, in all circumstances, in all situations. And that's been a big part of my life, even finding joy. And I write a lot about this in this book, about
Okay.
even finding joy in the loss of my wife of 25 years to cancer, and through chronic pain that has come at times.
Right.
And you can find joy everywhere if you know how to look. That's the catch, knowing how to look and how to have the tools to help us look.
Right.
And so that's what this song is about, but we'll hear the instrumental version, which is
Okay.
also very beautiful.
All right. So stay tuned. This is Akashwani Hyderabad.